America, we are back, baby. Welcome to another episode of America Unfiltered with James Pascalides. We got a great show for you tonight, everyone. It's been one of the slowest news weeks we've had in a while, but it's not a bad thing. It gives us time to talk about other topics that might not be as important as, the daily news topics, but they're still very important, so it's good that we get to talk about them. I want to remind everyone to smash the like and follow button, leave a comment if you have any questions. Today we're really just going to be reacting to a few different videos. We are going to be showing some clips, talking about them. We'll talk a little bit about Israel and Gaza, the situation happening there. There's not a ton of clarity, so I'm sure next week we will have a lot more developments on that than we have today. But we don't have a crazy busy show, crazy long show for you guys today. We're really just going to react to some clips, talk a little bit about the Gaza-Israel situation, talk about America, but not much more. The clips we're going to show you today are of Nick Fuentes and people reacting to one of Nick Fuentes' recent clips. A clip from Nick Fuentes has been going viral on social media. We've had multiple people reacting to this, and I wanted to show it on my show. On my show recently a lot, I've been talking about black crime statistics. I've been talking about the drop in the black fatherhood rate. I have been talking a lot about the problems that happen within black America and how they need to be fixed. This is a video where Nick Fuentes addresses similar issues. He addresses similar problems within black America. I've even had people reach out to me as I've said these things, saying, I shouldn't be saying these things. I'm a white person. I don't have a place to say these things. It might be even racist to say these things they say. I don't believe that. I think if we don't talk about the black crime statistics, they'll never get fixed, and I don't want them to never get fixed. I want America to be a healthy country. I want America to be a crime-free country. I don't want to walk out my house and I don't want to feel nervous every time I run into somebody who's in a hood walking towards me who's black at night. I don't want to deal with that. And why I thought these clips were a good idea to show is it's all black people reacting to it. I want you guys to see from these black people, I want you guys to see their reactions to what Nick Fuentes is saying and a lot of what I have been saying. I've been repeating a lot of the same points on my show and elaborating on some of the points too and showing other clips of black individuals throughout America and commenting on those clips too. So we're going to dive into these clips. I want you guys to see from their mouths what they have to say about the stuff that black America is doing today. So we're going to get right into it. I'm going to play the first clip. The first clip is about 15 minutes. I don't know if we're going to play the full clips. We'll really just, play them, pause them, comment on them a little, and then we'll go on to the next one. I don't think we'll play the entire thing, but we'll go right into it now.
I think black people are not irredeemable, but there just needs to be brutal honesty. It's like, look, these black people are really struggling, and they're turning into these maniacs. It seems like they don't do anything right. They're obnoxious, they're rude, they're inconsiderate, aggressive, cruel, and, look, nobody hates black people for being black. If there are people like that, I think that's exceedingly rare, and I don't consider myself one of them. The reason that people have negative attitudes about black people is because most people's interactions with black people are negative. Most people's interactions with black people is when you're stuck in traffic and you see a Nissan Altima speeding down the shoulder. And you say, what the fuck? You're not supposed to do that. If everybody did that, it would just be another lane and, not everybody can do that. But it's like these people have no respect for decorum. They think the rules don't apply to them. They have no respect for society. Like that's their interaction is they are a waiter and they wait on a black table, and the black people don't tip, and they're fucking rude. Like that's most people's interactions. It's stuff like that. They go.
If you've been a waiter, you know what he's talking about. If you've ever been a waiter, again, there are two kinds of black tippers. There's the black guy who doesn't tip at all, and there's the black guy who tips a little too much to make up for the black guys who don't tip at all. And that's very true.
They go to the DMV, and they see a black person behind the counter, and they say, oh, here we go. And the person's rude. Now, it just goes to show people are not racist. It goes to show people don't like people that are rude. That people don't, it's unpleasant. People want to be treated with consideration and respect. And it is true that black people are, in this day and age, unfortunately, seem to have very low moral character. It's not even just the violence, although the violence is pretty striking. If you live your life and you know that you're going to be mugged by black people, it kind of colors your opinion or perception of black people, wouldn't you say? If 99% of the carjackings and stabbings and shootings that you see in Chicago are by black people, when you're walking down the street late at night, guess what you're looking for? Black people.
It's not wrong.
And you equate that with danger. And it doesn't take a lot of them to spoil the whole bunch like that. And we just want black people to take accountability and say, look, I'm not a bad person. I'm not a bad person. It just seems that every time I encounter you people, for the most part, it's negative. And sometimes extremely negative, like I could get a gun in my face. You know? That's a problem. And people go, well, you are just loaded up with hatred and racism. It's like, I'm really not. I'm a really friendly person. I'm a really polite, friendly person. I give everybody a chance. But if I'm someplace and I see some black person walking in with their pants sagging and they can't articulate what their problem is or what they need, and they're rude and they're aggressive and I'm in fear for my life, like, yeah, I have a problem with all of that. And people go, and these black people go, well, you're racist, you're racist. It's like, no, I just hate inconsiderate behavior. If black people were super well behaved, we would be racist in the other direction. We'd say, black people, oh yes, dude, yes. My day is about to turn around for the better. What can I help you with, sir? Please, come right on in. Man.
Why is he this way?
I think me and that guy have a similar sense of humor. What can I help you with today, sir? It's a hilarious quote.
Why you enjoyed it so much?
Hey, bro.
I ain't gonna lie, he had some points.
Bro.
I won't lie,
Got
he
a lot
made
of
a lot
points.
of valid points.
Nigga's crazy, bro. Oh my gosh. Ooh, I gotta see the comments after this, bro.
I think he made a lot of valid points.
Wow, bro.
Like, I have a problem with all of that. And people go, and these black people go, well, you're racist, you're racist. It's like, no, I just hate inconsiderate behavior. If black people were super well behaved, we would be racist in the other direction. We'd say, black people, oh yes, dude, yes. My day is about to turn around for the better. What can I help you with, sir? Please, come right on in. Man, what a relief to see you here. You're a sight for sore eyes. If black people were known for being the best, then we would be racist in the other direction. Oh, finally. So yeah, that really bothers me. It just bothers me in this damn ass city, because that's all it is in Chicago, is just these black people who can never take accountability. It's always somebody else's fault.
That's a good point he ended on right there. To a lot of black people, it is always somebody else's fault.
I would say, this is what I'll say. Okay. Click that. Go click that tweet.
She's black.
Click this tweet. Click the tweet. Yes. This is what I was getting ready to say. There's two different races of black people.
They're saying it.
We have regular black people, like us here, and then we have Gus.
And out of
Yeah, they always say you got the ninjas and you got
Option B
the
there.
regular
Well, I mean,
black
he lives in
people.
Chicago, so I'm sure
There's a lot of
They
them
act
there.
different.
Yeah.
Two different
But
races.
But there is
essentially.
a difference. Like, I'm sorry, but there is a difference.
Hold on. What
It's nothing to
percent
be
of
sorry
us?
for. There is a difference.
What percent
It's
of
two
us?
different races of people completely.
Boom.
It is.
Yep.
But what percent of us are?
I don't know. A lot.
What estimate?
Black people aren't bad. It's the ninjas you got to
I
worry
would
for.
say
55.
nah,
45.
not even that high. I would say like, I don't know what I would say. I don't know how many, but I know
I would
that
say about 70.
70-30?
Nah,
70-30?
70.
I would say
it's
like
not the majority.
Yes, it
It's
is.
the poor
Look at
ones.
the
Father,
household
well,
rates of
If we do say
where
that, then it
our
would be the
fathers
majority.
out of the household. It's
I don't
like
wanna say a
25%
number.
have a father in the house.
What are you asking, Grok?
but everyone who lives is not.
Yeah.
No.
What did you
There's
search?
poor black people who are.
What did you search?
How many black people are in poverty?
It's gonna be
In
more than just the
2023,
poverty line.
only 17.9% of black people live in poverty.
So then it would be around 30%. I don't know. I think it is the. I think
I was gonna say,
I
like-
mean, I think the point that he made about rude, inconsiderate behavior from people and negative interactions could sour you to a people, and I think that's a valid
Yeah.
opinion. I think that's a valid outlook to have. I mean,
If-
if I had
hold
a
on.
bunch of
Oh,
negative
I'm sorry.
interactions with someone, I would think negatively of
Yeah.
that someone.
But if 40%, this is a stat and win. This is 2020. If 40% of black people commit violent crime, so that's 40 off the rip. So what percent are a good 20? You can't say it's less than 20.
So you think it's
it's
60%?
Far over, buddy.
Wow.
40% commit violent crimes.
Well, I would say then 40%.
Yeah.
40,
So, you think all of-
45.
I said 55%.
I'd say 45 to 55%.
Do you think
Yeah,
all
I said that off rip.
Yeah.
Do you think all inconsiderate people commit violent crimes?
I won't
No.
say no. but
Okay,
I
so
think
then it's above 40% then, bud.
that's why I said 55%, but
Because you do have to
Let's
start
talk
at
about
40 with that.
You gotta say over 50 for sure.
Sad though.
I don't know, man.
It is sad, but I ain't gonna lie. The way to end it is to do what we do. I feel like it, to call it out, and we can't just spare people's feelings anymore. That's why I'm not mad at what he said at all.
Well,
I don't know. I think there just has to be some sort of accountability among black people. Like if black people as a collective stop defending that behavior and justifying that behavior and then accepting it as black behavior, then it would be frowned upon. But a lot of this stuff is accepted and defended by black people. Oh, they're just kids. Oh, they're hungry.
It's not even just accepted and defended, it's glorified. I mean, they rap about killing people and impregnating women and leaving them and celebrating it. They bragged about it on their Instagram stories. It's just disgusting how they treat some of these things. And you need to improve black culture in America to improve black society.
Hungry. Oh, they're this, they're that.
They
they're
had
this.
to.
It's always a defense from black people. So it's almost a justifying that behavior. If that type of stuff was condemned by black people in the majority, we would see a difference. But we don't. The black women want thugs that sag their pants and act gangster. They want that. That's why they single moms, because they keep dating them and they keep going to jail. Sorry, the facts are the facts. That's just what it is.
It is. I'm not gonna say it's crazy because just saying that all your interactions with black people are always negative.
He didn't say all of them.
No,
he
didn't
said
say
majority.
Okay, and so I want to know with you guys what like percent of
My personal interactions.
Yeah, y'all personal interactions.
I wouldn't say I'd be some. I mean,
Is it 50? Is it 60?
I mean, when I worked at a mall store, I think
But what's it?
black people were stealing a lot out of the store that I worked at.
So what
Yeah.
you said percent of inconsiderate? The people.
If you work retail, you know that as well. It happens.
Well, I mean, I feel like black people approach me differently than they would him. So I don't know. I'd say my experience with black people would probably be different than someone else's. As a black man, I'm just gonna be logical here. Like I think someone might be inconsiderate and rude to someone that's white, but I think when they come to me, it's gonna be a different interaction. I'm just keeping it 100 based on my life experience.
It's impossible to find a number here, but
Do you think
You
that's
can't
a
put a-
bad take?
No, I mean, this is anecdotal evidence here.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know him. I already seen it.
Yeah, I mean, someone else's experience with someone is not going to be my experience. I can only speak from my point of view.
I think that
people are saying he's racist.
I mean, I don't think he said anything racist. He didn't denigrate. He said, "This is why people feel."
he
that
just
way
described
based on
the
these
other race of
things."
people. He did not describe. He described niggas, not black people.
I mean, he
I think
just
there is
said-
a big difference.
Massive.
I think that
Huge
I've met a lot of
difference.
black
We can
people
all
and
agree
I've
on
met a
that.
lot of niggas, and there is a giant difference. There really is. It's two completely different mindsets. That is what I will say. Just being honest.
I mean, I don't. He said he's not a person that hates black people for being black. He said he hates rude, inconsiderate behavior. I hate that as well.
Yeah, like you said, literally almost nobody. I mean, there are people, there's always going to be exceptions to the rule, and there are people who are just blatantly racist, but very few people actually hate black people for being black people, or hate Mexicans for being Mexicans, or hate anyone just for being, the color they are. It's inconsiderate behavior, and when the majority of your race or group or whatever it is acts a certain way, when the majority of your households don't have a father, and then when you're committing the overwhelming majority of not just crimes but violent crimes in our nation, and your youth crime rate is not going down over time but it's skyrocketing over time, you have a lot of problems. And it's not racist to address these issues. It is actually helpful, because if no one addresses these issues, you guys are just going to self-eliminate your own race. You guys abort more babies than anyone, and you guys kill each other at unprecedented rates.
Dr. Umar even said about
He said a lot of them Negroes on the corner, on the street, gotta go to sleep for good.
He said they gotta go extinct.
That is the
Dr.
pro-black
Umar.
nationalist.
Dr. Umar even said that.
I'm gonna keep it 100. I saw a video the other day where a woman said, "I don't want a man that work a 9 to 5 and take care of me. I want a thug." She said, "Y'all ugly." We can pull it up right now.
And then
We can put, and then the next day
Stop
she posted
toxic
a video
black behavior.
that her kid's room in the hood got shot up. Pull it up.
Can't fix stupid, right?
That's real. That's type of stuff
It's
that
sad,
goes
but
on
you
in the
can't
black
fix
community.
stupid.
Yeah,
I
we
personally
know.
will not sit around and condone that, my brother.
Me
I will
either.
personally not defend that negligent, negative, degenerate behavior.
Thank you, sir.
I don't like it.
It's sad though that it's came to this, but
I mean, people have been probably saying this for years now. It's not that it just came to it. I think there's just been a more. It's just been a more vocal thing. I think most black people, in my experience, don't act that way. But you again, I be in nice areas
Yeah, it's
where
different. It's
affluent people be.
different.
So
But most nice areas that I've been in my life, 10%.
10.
Brother, are you insane? When I went to the nicest community I've ever lived in, it was 5 black people that I knew in the whole community. And it was thousands of white people there.
I think in the town I grew up in, I maybe had 2 black kids in my school, maybe. We had no crime in my town either. What a surprise. You know, one of the safest towns in New Jersey where I grew up had very few minorities. So what a surprise. You know, who could have guessed that?
it's a culture thing, bro. It's
Just
just
a culture thing.
It's a culture
So
thing.
It
when I
is.
think about that, I'm going to still have to stick with my number at a good 70. Because if I lined up every black
No,
person.
I don't want to say that.
I would say
Every
70.
black
I
person-
agree. I said
I
70,
was going
30.
to say, I'm going to knock it down
70
to
is
60.
too high.
Nope.
I'll say 50.
70 is too high. In my,
It's almost 50.
I don't know, man. But you gotta realize, I grew
man.
up. I was in Jack and Jill, the Black Betterment organizations. I was in all that stuff.
Take
so
a pause.
what I grew up, the black people I grew up around, wasn't doing that type
Okay.
of stuff.
Yeah,
Just
but
gotta
they
keep
went to
on
your,
my
you know, you've seen them though. You've
Oh,
came
I-
across
If
them.
I
the
for sure have
statistics
seen
say,
them.
if I lined up every black person, 40% of them commit violent crimes, brother.
That's
Nah,
crazy.
That's a stat!
Nah.
Can we look
You
at
can't say nah. That's a stat.
It's a stat.
Then that's- you can't argue with
It's a
that. You
stat
can't argue
based
the
on
statistics.
another
They don't
stat,
lie.
A group within the
What?
population. It's
Like, I'm pretty
ages,
sure
what
it's
is it,
like
like
2% of
14 to
black.
30
Like,
something?
there's
I'm
a
about to
2%
look it up.
chance like every black person will commit murder or whatever. Yeah,
Okay.
that's what
It's
it's crazy.
That's
This
what it
is-
said. I mean, hey, I know my experience.
I
you
said
know?
I agreed with what Nick said.
You know, I know when I'm at a
I don't
place.
like those.
when
I
I'm
don't
at a-
like those people with those type of
Look,
interactions.
when I'm
either.
at a
Yeah,
place,
I-
and
like-
I will have the
hold
accountability
on.
to call it
When I'm
out.
at a place where it's good,
I think it's good for my guests to hear this. Mainly the older, again, like all the people who reach out to me about this, none of them are under the age of 30, 40, even 50. I mean, all the people who reach out to me about like, oh, that could be racist. That it's generally the older crowd. And it's generational differences. They don't really see it, and they don't really see the young culture of Black America and what it's actually like. It's not a productive society, and it could be if they actually dedicated themselves to trying to stick to the nuclear family, not break the law constantly. You weren't sagging your pants. You're not doing drugs. Again, you're not impregnating women and leaving them. You're not abusing welfare in Section 8. These are things that are problems in black society and black culture that need to be fixed.
black people. Wow, just like Nick said, this is amazing. But when I'm at a place with a lot of them, it's not too good of an outcome there, and it's rare, like Greek events.
Okay.
Those are good black people.
Duh.
Rare though.
It's not rare.
It's not that many.
I grew
it's not
up
too
around
many
that
Greeks.
shit.
It's not that many Greeks. It's a lot of them, but it's not that many. It's more than the regular black population.
Oh yeah, nah.
Oakland, California, we talk Chicago, Houston, Louisiana.
Yeah, I mean, if you've ever been to any major city in the country, especially somewhere like New York or something, you've had this experience. You've had someone, you know, whether they're on crack, whether they're homeless, whether they have mental health issues, whatever it is, maybe they just have anger issues. You've had someone yell at you. You've had someone threaten you. You've maybe even had someone physically assault you. I'll tell a quick story. I could tell the rest of the long story later, but I went to an all-black college for about a year, not knowing it was going to be an all-black college. That's the long story. I'll tell it a different time. But when I was there, I got to see very up close and personal how black culture and black America operates. And I knew multiple people who had been jumped. I knew people who had been jumped by white people who had been jumped by black people. And there was a point when I was in college where I got jumped by black people with one of my friends walking back from a store. 10 black guys surrounded us, and they started kicking us in the head after we were down. They beat the shit out of us, robbed us, and they were literally kicking us in the skulls, in the ribs, as we were already unconscious. Every single person I know who's gotten jumped, who's gotten beat up, gotten in a fight, when they get in a fight with white people and they're unconscious on the ground, the white person is generally not robbing them, is not still kicking them in the head and in the ribs. They're usually letting it go at that point. But no, we were on the ground unconscious practically, bleeding out of our mouths and every cut we had, etc., and we're still getting kicked in the head, kicked in the ribs, until damn near death. And that's, again, not all black people. There is a difference, like they say, between the ninjas and black people. A very big difference. And if we don't talk about these differences, if we don't talk about these issues, the culture problems in America within black society, we will never fix them. Black crime rates are only going up, they're not going down. Black abortion rates are only going up, they're not going down. Black America needs to take a complete 180, and a lot of it starts at the shitty reparations part of the Civil Rights Act we put in. You can make really strong arguments that the Civil Rights Act was good because of the desegregation and the equality, but when you talk about the rest of the bill, the part that allowed black America to marry the government, divorce their husbands, it's one of the most destructive bills to black America and one of the most destructive bills to America in history. I'm going to go on to these next other videos. We're pretty much going to be watching this Nick clip 3 times. So when you're rewatching this, feel free to kind of like skip the beginning of the next clip. You'll miss like a little bit of their commentary, but not a ton. But I'm going to go to the next video. It is again, I brought in a whole panel of black people today to react to this. I really just want to show the people out there who think it's racist to talk about this that it's not. And what better way to show them that it's not than have black people agree with me that black people have problems in America. So we're going to go to the next clip here.
Now, based off of the sheer amount of people who told me to watch it, and then the amount of people who told me not to watch it, all right, I'm going to watch this video. We're here for that. We're absolutely here for this. Listen, I've heard of Nick Fuentes. I've not heard a single good thing about him, all right? But whatever, we're here for
Everyone says the same thing. They're always like, I've always heard that he's an anti-Semite. I've heard that he's racist. I've heard terrible things. And then people tuned in during the Iran coverage, and they're like, holy shit, this is the greatest geopolitical analysis I've ever listened to. I'm learning more right now than I've ever learned about the Middle East. They tuned in during the election, possibly. They learned about the corruption within the Trump administration. They tuned in during the Tucker hit piece last Friday. That was one of his biggest shows of all time. And they're realizing, holy shit, this guy tells the truth. This guy is not pushing an agenda. He's really just trying to tell the truth. He is trying to bring America back to what it used to be. And to do that, we have to tell the truth. So a lot of people have this false sense of reality of what Nick is actually like in his videos. But I promise you this, if you think Nick is racist, anti-Semitical, if you think he's any of these, negative buzzwords, etc., watch his content and then judge for yourself. If you still feel the same way after you've watched an episode or two, I'll have a discussion with you about it. But if you have never watched a full stream, if you have never watched one of his episodes, you have no business commenting saying he's racist, anti-Semitical, he's this, he's that. Your opinion is garbage because you are just creating your opinion off what other people are saying, off hearsay. You're not actually watching and deciding for yourself.
here for that. I'm not weak. All right, let's check it out. Let's see where this video takes us, guys. This is a suggestion via multiple channel members. All right, let's do it.
It's a shame. I really do believe, look, I think black people are not irredeemable, but there just needs to be brutal honesty. It's like, look,
Okay.
these black people are really struggling and they're turning into these maniacs. It seems like they don't do anything right. They're obnoxious, they're rude, they're inconsiderate, aggressive, cruel. And, look, nobody hates black people for being black. If there are people like that, I think that's exceedingly rare. And I don't consider myself one of them. The reason that people have negative attitudes about black people is because
Personal
most
experiences?
people's interactions with black people are negative.
I'll give you
Most-
that.
I love how he called it. He goes personal experiences. I'll give you that.
People's interactions with black people is when you're stuck in traffic and you see a Nissan Altima speeding down the shoulder.
Oh God, not the Ultima. Okay, listen. So as of right now, I'm not hearing anything that's kind of off. Off color, let's say. Like every single thing that he just said here, I can imagine my mother or my father specifically sitting in a room, right, and having a conversation kind of about these things pretty much in the open here. I think black people, the ones that are not associated, let's say, with like hood culture, have these conversations all day long. If this is why you guys told me not to watch it, I'm thoroughly confused because this is absolutely the monologue that has happened in my household growing up for the entirety of me growing up. I don't hear anything wrong with this so far here, guys.
With black people is when you're stuck in traffic and you see a Nissan Altima speeding down the shoulder.
Like, is it
And you
everyone?
say,
No.
What the You're not supposed to do that. If everybody did that, it would just be another lane, and, you know, not everybody can do that.
Right.
But it's like these people have no respect for decorum. They think the rules don't apply to them. They have no respect for society. Like, that's their interaction is they are a waiter, and they wait on a black table, and the black people don't tip, and they're rude.
Guys, I tip super high, like 50, 60%, because I literally know I've been out with other people and they were just like, I'm not leaving.
It's what I just said earlier. It's like there's two kinds of black tippers. There's the black guy who just doesn't tip and writes like fuck you on the bill, or they just don't tip. They just scribble it out, etc. Or there's the black guy who literally tips like 30 to 50%, and he's like, I know my friends aren't tipping. I know no one I know is tipping. Here you go. Have a good day, sir.
Leaving no tip. I'm like, what? Right? I end up doing it, but I specifically tip 50 to 60% on average, just to make up for the shortcomings.
That's most people's interactions. It's stuff like that. They go to the DMV and they see a black person behind the counter and they say, oh, here we go. And the person's rude. Now, it just goes to show people are not racist. It goes to show people don't like people that are rude. That people don't, it's unpleasant. People want to be treated with consideration and respect. And it is true that black people are, in this day and age, unfortunately, seem to have very low moral character. It's not even just the violence, although the violence is pretty striking. If you live your life and you know that you're going to be mugged by black people, it kind of colors your opinion or perception of black people, wouldn't you say? If 99% of the carjackings and stabbings and shootings that you see in Chicago are by black people, when you're walking down the street late at night, guess what you're looking for? Black people. And you equate that with danger. And it doesn't take a lot of them to spoil the whole bunch like that. And we just want black people to take accountability and say, look, I'm not a bad person. I'm not a bad person. It just seems that every time I encounter you people, for the most part, it's negative. And sometimes extremely negative, like I could get a gun in my face. You know? That's a problem. And people go, well, you are just loaded up with hatred and racism. It's like, I'm really not. I'm a really friendly person. I'm a really polite, friendly person. I give everybody a chance. But if I'm someplace and I see some black person walking in with their pants sagging and they can't articulate what their problem is or what they need, and they're rude and they're aggressive, and I'm in fear for my life, like, yeah, I have a problem with all of that.
I'm going to be honest. I'll be completely honest here, guys. So listen, because I know I can get away with saying some of the things that most likely he cannot get away with saying. Listen, I can say this right now, bro. If I see specific hairstyles, I'm sorry. You're basically a wash to me. Like if I see any type of dreads on your head,
that's based.
All right, I'm almost not going to 100% take the conversation that we're having seriously. All right, I'm just not going to do it, bro. If I see those ridiculous Florida twist things that the individuals wear, the YNs wear, forget it. Immediately, I'm disregarding everything you're saying. All right, and most likely, I'm not even going to walk into the building until I know you're out of it. All right, so let's just understand here. I get what he's saying here. All right, I don't think that there's anything wrong with what he's saying here. This is just being truthfully honest in a scenario where you really where most people would not be this truthfully honest. I mean, I get it. He's a Fuentes, right? So he's not going to be looked at in the same manner. Saying it in other ways, basically, right? He's not going to be looked at like that, right? But just understand this here, guys. I don't see anything wrong with what he's saying here. There is a literal problem in the black community. He's saying that there's a moral decline or a lack of morals. He's not lying here. Right now, 2025. Listen. If you understood, guys, hold on. I specifically moved to a zip code where I am one of the 2 black Americans in it, guys. Okay, I'm one of the 2. All right.
Yeah, that's
Just
one thing
right,
they don't talk about on the news, but like, I don't know if you know a real estate agent, you know this, and if you bought a house, you know this, or rent a place. The entire real estate market in America is built off how far do you live from black people. It's like the closer you live to black people, the cheaper it is, the more crime there is. The further you live from black people, the more expensive it is. The entire real estate market in America is based off of race, and people don't want to talk about that, but it's that way because of crime. It's not that way because white people just don't want to live near black people. It's white people don't want to live near crime and inconsideration, like they're describing right here. And no, it's not all black people. There's the ninjas and there's the black people, Big difference.
No reason. I didn't specifically move to like the hood for just so I can, I can't live my life like that. I'm not bringing my family around that, bro. No. I'm not gonna do it, bro. I don't respect the hood. I don't respect hood culture.
Good.
I don't respect backyard barbecue culture. I did that. I said that, right? I don't respect none of it, bro. I don't want nothing to do with any type of debauchery, bro. I just can't. Under any circumstances, bro, I can't. My family do not even engage in anything like this, and I mean this to the depth of me.
Good.
People
Raise your kids the same.
Comments and they're thoroughly confused why I don't back some of the ridiculous like hood mentality type of clauses, and I'm just like, bro, they call me all types of like Uncle Tom. Don't even know the story of Uncle Tom when they call me Uncle Tom, right? But either way, live your best life in ignorance. But listen, Uncle Ruckus, I'm all types of things. Because I won't adhere to the nonsense. I don't respect it. I'm not going to support it. You cannot come to me and ask me to come to your backyard barbecue party, bro. They're going to be like 30,000 fights, bro. I'm not doing that. I'm not engaging in that. I'm not bringing my family.
If you've ever been to a casino on like an Indian ground where there's like, you know what he's talking about. There's 1,000 fights between black people when it comes to just like a little bit of alcohol, and you have the ninjas around. They fight. They do dumb shit. They cause the vast majority of the crime in this country, especially the violent crime.
Family around it. That's not happening here. Now, is it every single black American that I've encountered? No, my neighbor is fine. Right? Like my neighbor is great, actually. You see what I'm saying here, guys? And I've met so many positive, business focused, moral focused, ethics focused, forward, let's say, black Americans in my life, but it just seems like the ones who tend to kind of make it the biggest are always the ones who are the most garbage, if that makes any sense here. It seems like that's just the trend. And with that being said, the overwhelming masses tend to look at, I guess, black Americans in America as that one specific ilk of literal filth. Okay? Because I can tell you, like in my family, there are many black people, obviously, right?
Oh,
but
really?
that's just
What a
not
surprise.
my lived experience. Like my lived experience is not the hood. My family are not ghetto. I remember talks with my great grandmother, and she was just like, "Listen, whatever the overwhelming majority of black Americans are doing, bro." And she was like 80, bro. Whatever the overwhelming majority of black Americans are doing, do the opposite. Period. That's legitimately what I was taught from literal like toddlerhood, bro. Right?
He seems to be doing fine because of it.
I don't know, but anyway.
And people go, and these black people go, well, you're racist, you're racist. It's like, no, I just hate inconsiderate behavior.
Yeah, that's fair.
If black people were super well behaved, we would be racist in the other direction. We'd say, black people, oh yes, dude, yes. My day is about to turn around for the better. What can I help you with, sir?
Look, what you just confirmed was that you can never you can never be perfect as someone, if that makes any sense here. That's just confirmation of kind of that statement. Like when someone hates you for something, this has nothing to do with this specific argument because he's right in this argument. But when someone doesn't like you for something, let's say you're being called fat all day long, bro, lose weight and watch you be called, you're going to start being called too skinny. All right. Like you can never be like adequate to like another person. Understand that.
Please come right on in. Man, what a relief to see you here. You're a sight for sore eyes. If black people were known for being the best, then we would be racist in the other direction. Oh, finally. So yeah, that really bothers me. It just bothers me in this damn ass city because that's all it is in Chicago is just
he's in Chicago?
black people who can never
Chirac.
take accountability. It's always somebody else's fault.
That's fair. Yeah. Well, yes. I absolutely can confirm.
It's another thing.
that
Women,
exact statement
black
here.
people, and accountability. None of those
is an
mix.
issue. Like if we follow
Especially
around,
black
if we follow,
women.
Like which gender generally has issues specifically with dealing with accountability,
right
you
here.
realize that most likely it's going to be the women.
Yep.
Right.
Boom.
Now look at the Black American community. You realize that fatherless households are like everywhere. Right. And who's raising these men? Women. Right. They're just embodying women. Like if you. Most of the
Over-feminization.
most of the men that women complain about were raised by women. Most of them, large,
And not great
like
ones
most
either.
Of the prisons, right, that house the criminals are criminals raised by women, right? Like I mean, understand this here, the reality here. So accountability is a problem in the Black American community because of these things. I would just specifically say that it is probably going to be that as the issue. Right. If you're wondering why, that's it. Period. Well, why don't the men stay in the house? Bro, like, do you understand what it is like sometimes specifically where you run into women that are specifically Black American community, you run into women that are like consistently always in some type of survival mode. And that survival mode, right, tends to make you have to do all the things that generally stereotypically are not like, excessively feminine. And so you're kind of living within this masculine energy. And it's really hard for the average man, I would say, to want to deal with a woman who is a woman by default, but very masculine, right? Not everyone, obviously, I'm not talking about everyone, but like that is a thing that is very prevalent within the Black community. And these men, some of them are legitimately hobosexuals. Where they have nothing going for themselves. In fact, they have nothing going for themselves. They're broke, and they're looking for a woman who they think is easy to basically attach themselves to because she has, 5 kids, because she's went through the same process with other Black American men, utilizing her resources that the government gave her. You get what I'm saying here? Utilizing that. Now they are having a baby with this woman, realizing, oh no, look what I did, right? That type of thing. Running to the next woman and do the same thing again. It's hobosexuals, guys. Right? Hobo. Right? Either way, there are a lot of issues here. How do we fix them? I have no idea. I don't think that he's wrong here in this context. I think
this guy gives a pretty good reaction too. I mean, so far, again, we're what were there? 3 guys in the last video, 1 here. We're 4 for 4 here. All the black guys agree with me. They obviously they're agreeing with Nick's clip, but I'm bringing these videos on to reemphasize the things I've been saying over the last week, maybe 2 weeks. I've been talking a lot more about black crime statistics, and I think it's important to hear from the perspective of Black America that, I'm just a white kid saying all this stuff, so I could be biased to some people who don't actually know the information. When people are able to hear this from, essentially the source itself, it makes it a lot better in their mind. So I think it's important to show these clips. We do have one more of this clip to show where they're going to be reacting to this specific clip. Then we'll just bring some stuff up on X. We'll talk about the stuff Israel and Gaza. We'll talk about some stuff happening in America. But it's really one of the slowest news weeks we've had in a while. There's not been a ton going on. Really, the only news that's popped up is that Israel is trying to take the Gaza Strip, and then Netanyahu is saying that's not what they're trying to do, and then he says, but it is. It's, again, just a PR campaign over there. constantly happening. But we're going to play this last clip for you guys, and then after we play this last clip, we'll get into, like I said, talking about Israel, some Twitter stuff, but not a crazy show today. Remember to like, smash the follow button, leave a comment if you have any questions. Maybe I'll even go live this week and doing a gaming stream too, or if there's any news headlines. It's just been, to be honest, a very boring week for news. There's just, I don't know, there really hasn't been anything. But here we go with this one.
All right, y'all, we are back with another video. I definitely had to bring y'all this. So it seemed like this video right here by Nick Fuentes was circulating around Twitter. I seen a lot of y'all was telling me to check it out, react to it. And they saying that he's kind of keeping it real, you know, on Black America. Pretty much explaining the reason why, you know, some white people don't like to live around black people and stuff like that. And I'm gonna let you know right now. This video right here, I'm gonna be brutally honest, just like I am in all of my other videos. I'm not gonna hold back. I'm gonna tell y'all exactly what's on my mind. And like I said, it is what it is. But I definitely want to check this out. Now I've seen Nick Fuentes. I know he did an interview with Candace Owens, I think about a couple weeks ago.
Interview.
And like I said, so I don't really know like a whole lot about him, but I have seen like some of his videos. Like every now and then I see a few of his videos. And like I said, I definitely want to check this out to see exactly, you know, like what all he said. If he's right, I'm going to be right here on this camera and tell you exactly that he's right.
Hopefully.
So like I said, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Shout out to everybody showing so much support, and shout out to the
everyone real quick too. I'm showing these three guys different videos. Go like and follow these guys too. If you like their reactions to it, I should probably, I don't even, let me subscribe to him. But like and subscribe to these guys. I'm showing their videos, so I feel like I should promote their stuff a little bit. They didn't ask me to do it. I just, I want to be nice.
One that always watches the entire video. I appreciate all of you that do that, because it definitely helps get the video out there. And the ones that let me know in the comment section, say, hey, A-Dog, I stayed to the very end. I appreciate all of you that do that, because it definitely helps get the video out there. And the ones that come straight in and hit that like button. So if you haven't hit that like button yet, please stop what you're doing.
Smash the like button.
Hit that like button for me. It really, really helps out a lot. And like I said, it helps push the video out as well. So like I said, a lot of y'all wanted me to check this out. And let's go ahead and dive straight into this, and let's see exactly what Nick Fuentes said. So, as y'all can see this one right here on the screen, it says, social media influencer Nick Fuentes demands brutal honesty with regards to much of the commonly accepted AA behavior. He describes to his black audience the impression the world has of them and why. It's difficult for anyone to disagree with his take. All right, so let's check out what Nick Fuentes said. Let's go.
It's a shame. I really do believe, look, I think black people are not irredeemable, but there just needs to be brutal honesty. It's like, look, these black people are really struggling, and they're turning into these maniacs. It seems like they don't do anything right. They're obnoxious, they're rude, they're inconsiderate, aggressive, cruel. And, look, nobody hates black people for being black. If there are people like that, I think that's exceedingly rare.
Okay.
And I don't consider myself one of them. The reason that people have negative attitudes about black people is because most people's interactions with black people are negative. Most people's interactions with black people is when you're stuck in traffic and you see a Nissan Altima speeding down the shoulder. And you say, what? You're not.
It gets me every time. Same as they laugh. I laugh at that. It's so good.
I ain't gonna lie, that one right there got me right there. It says speeding down the shoulder. Bro, I just seen so many videos of videos like that is all on YouTube. I'm not even gonna lie, bro. Like, there's a lot of videos that's like that. They just be speeding down the side. I done really seen this in real life. So I'm gonna be honest with you. Like I said, what he just said right there, that's definitely true. I done seen that myself. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Are they actually doing this? So like I said, sometimes, you get to the point where the truth hurts. So, and I'm one of those people, like, I don't like to like sugarcoat anything. I like to be brutally honest. So the way I feel about certain things, I like to just come out and say it, and you just take it whichever way you take it. But, when you just being honest, I like when people be honest. I like that you ain't sugarcoating, you ain't holding back, you ain't beating around the bush. I don't like all that. Just be straightforward with me, because I'm going to be straightforward with you. So, like, that right there, he's definitely not lying about that. So, let's go.
Are negative. Most people's interactions with black people is when you're stuck in traffic and you see a Nissan Altima speeding down the shoulder. And you say, what? You're not supposed to do that. If everybody did that, it would just be another lane, and, not everybody can do that. But it's like these people have no respect for decorum. They think the rules don't apply to them. They have no respect for society. Like, that's their interaction is they are a waiter, and they wait on a black table, and the black people don't tip. Rude.
Now, I'm not gonna lie. I have I've been around like a lot of people that did that. Like a lot of black people that I've been around, like they have done that. Like me personally, I always do. This is the way I do. Like when I go to a restaurant or something like that, if we go to like a restaurant, I would tip the person who, no matter who, as long as you coming to my table, you checking in on me like, hey, do you need any more to drink, or do y'all need anything else? And you coming back and forth checking on the table, I always leave a good tip. I do it all the time, but I have been around people that do not want to tip at all. Like, I mean, the waiter can be just as nice, done did everything for you, checking on you, even though, yeah, that's their job. But at the same time, it's really good to tip people. It's really good to do that, especially if they was nice. They kept checking on you, making sure your food is all right, making sure, hey, do y'all need a refill of your drink? It's very good to tip people. Like any restaurant that I go, like till this day that I go and I get that great service and stuff like that, I'm always tipping. I never leave out of there tipping. Only way I won't tip you, like I said, if you're not coming over there checking, you run the food out, but I haven't seen you no more. It's like you just done disappeared. Now, like I said, the ones that coming back and forth and stuff like that, I definitely tip well. I definitely do that. But like I said, I have been around like people that haven't done that. They would just refuse to tip. Not saying they have to, but I think it's just a good thing to do. Just tip.
Like that's most people's interactions. It's stuff like that. They go to the DMV and they see a black person behind the counter and they say, "Oh, here we go," and the person's rude.
Yeah.
Now it just goes to show people are not. Goes to show people don't like people that are rude. That people don't. It's unpleasant. People want to be treated with consideration and respect. And it is true that black people are, in this day and age, unfortunately, seem to have very low moral character. It's not even just the violence, although the violence is pretty striking. If you live your life and you know that you're going to be mugged by black people, it kind of colors your opinion or perception of black people, wouldn't you say? If 99% of the carjackings and stabbings and shootings that you see in Chicago are by black people, when you're walking down the street late at night, guess what you're looking for? Black people. And you equate that with danger. And it doesn't take a lot of them to spoil the whole bunch like that. And we just want black people to take accountability and say, look, I'm not a bad person. I'm not a bad person. It just seems that every time I encounter you people, for the most part, it's negative. And sometimes extremely negative, like I could get a gun in my face. That's a problem. And people go, well, you are just loaded up with hatred and racism. It's like, I'm really not. I'm a really friendly person. I'm a really polite, friendly person. I give everybody a chance. But if I'm someplace and I see some black person walking in with their pants sagging and they can't articulate what they're...
Yeah, that's another thing that I don't like. I mean, I cannot stand the sagging, man. I just can't. I don't like it at all. It's unprofessional. It's like I
wish they would mention the smell of menthol too. I don't know. I mean, no one's mentioned that yet. But the sagging with the smell of menthol is the worst combo.
don't get why a lot of, even like when I see like my cousins, like if I see my cousin them sagging or somebody like a close relative of mine, I'm like, man, pull your pants up. I cannot stand it at all. I cannot stand that sagging. Now the thing is, I guess the reason some black people will look at Nick Fuentes and say, hey, he's racist, he's this, he's that. The thing that I'm seeing in this clip right here, he just being honest. He's not sugarcoating anything. He just telling you, hey, this is just my experience around some black people. Of course, he's not talking about all black people, but I'm pretty sure he done, been around like some rude ones, the sagging, because we done been like that. You can walk in certain places and the person behind the counter have a terrible attitude. I'd have been through that plenty of times. Plenty of times I done been through that. Now, like I said, everybody else might be different, but I'm just telling you what I done seen and what I done went through in my life growing up and stuff like that, you know, like in the hood and all of that. So I can only tell you what I've been through. I can't speak for everybody else, but I can speak for myself and what I done seen my family members go through because I done been around them. That I'm just going to be honest, like the stuff that Nick Fuentes is saying right now, he's not lying. He's not lying at all. I mean, I understand like the way some people take it, like, oh, he's very aggressive with it. I guess it's the way he's saying it, but if you really just listen to him, he's not lying at all.
Same thing goes here. That's the reason I brought the panel of black people on today, so they could tell the guests, mainly my older guests, that it's not racist. I'm not wrong. Black crime is a problem. Black behavior is a problem. Black parents are a problem. And it's not that black parents are a problem. It's the way black parents act. It's the way they abuse government services. It's the way they sag their pants. It's the way they break rules. It's the way they steal. It's the way they don't tip. Everything you're hearing these guys confirm in these videos.
You know what I mean? The black people I'd be around, even myself, that say, I don't want to stay in the black neighborhood. I want to stay where the white people at.
The real estate market, like
we
I said,
say it all the time. Because I know it's going to be safe. I know I'm not going to have any problems.
I never heard one gunshot growing up.
I've been in the hood, like
outside my
growing
bedroom.
up, that you couldn't even take a TV box outside. After you done bought a TV and you done put the box outside, guess what? It's somebody out there that's ignorant that want to come in your house and get that TV.
In Florida, they could try.
It was that bad that, like I said, you couldn't take a TV box when you bought a new TV. You couldn't even put the box outside beside the garbage can. You had to keep that box in the house until you see the garbage truck out there. Then you have to run out there and give it to them. And like I said, it might be some other black people that might say, hey, I don't agree with that. But I'm just telling you what I've been through and what I've seen my folks go through.
Yeah, he's not wrong at
That's
all.
the only thing I can speak on.
Problem is or what they need, and they're really polite, friendly person. I give everybody a chance. But if I'm someplace and I see some black person walking in with their pants sagging and they can't articulate what their problem is or what they need, and they're rude and they're aggressive, and I'm in fear for my life, like, yeah, I have a problem with all of that. And people go, and these black people go, well, you. It's like, no, I just hate inconsiderate behavior. If black people were super well behaved, we would be in the other direction. We'd say, black people, oh yes, dude, yes. My day is about to turn around for the better. What can I help you with, sir? Please, come right on in. Man, what a relief to see you here. You're a sight for sore eyes. If black people were known for being the best, then we would be in the other direction. Oh, finally. So yeah, that really bothers me. It just bothers me in this ass city because that's all it is in Chicago is just these black people who can never take accountability. It's always somebody else's fault.
Whoa, now that last part right there, he's definitely not lying. It's always somebody else's fault. They commit a murder, anything. I didn't do it. It was his fault. We see that a lot. We definitely see that a lot. So, I mean, man, I just have to be honest. I can't just get up here because if I feel like Nick Fuentes just said something wrong, like I said, I don't know who he support, where the case. I don't know. I'm just going straight off just this video right here. A lot of y'all, sent it to me. Hey, Adolf, can you please check it out? And I'm just going to be brutally honest. I'm not going to sit up here, look in this camera and lie. He's not lying at all. Because like I said, I can speak on myself and what my family and stuff like that been around and what I done seen. He's definitely not lying. And this is another one that y'all sent me that y'all want me to check out. This one is like a minute where he was saying he don't want to live around black people. And let's see what the reason why Nick Fuentes said he don't want to live around black people. Let's go.
And I will tell you this
This is
as plainly as possible. I don't want to live around black people. I just don't. It would be irresponsible if I had a wife and kids to live near black people. It just would be. And that's not to say that every black person is violent. It's not to say that every black person is the same way.
See, now, if you look at what he said, he said he don't want to live around black people. And like I said, I just said this a few minutes ago. I don't I don't want to.
Yeah, black people don't want to live around black people.
I done said this plenty of
Thank
times.
you, sir.
Like I said, I know what it's like. I know what
It's
it's like.
not all black people. It's the ninjas.
And it's not a good experience at all. I really don't want to go into details, but it's just not a good experience at all. Anytime, you able to buy a house and stuff like that, the first thing, especially in our circle, that we hear, like, man, I want to stay where the white people at. I want to go to the white people neighborhood. That's where I want to be at.
Yeah.
Like I said before
Me too.
earlier, I know I'm going to be
too,
safe.
buddy.
I'm not going to have any problems. They nice. I ain't got to
We'll
worry
say
about it.
hello
I
in the
can
morning.
take stuff outside. I done bought something. I can take it outside, take the box outside or the bag outside, whatever the case may be, sit it by the garbage can. I ain't got to worry about nobody breaking in my house. I've said this plenty of times. I 100, percent agree with him.
Yeah, I like how he adds a little thunder at the end for added effect.
I mean,
it's kind of funny.
it is what it is. I told you, I'm not gonna sit here and lie about anything.
Based.
I'm just not gonna do it.
Based.
Like I said, I'm honest.
black
Like
guy
I
saying
am
he
in
doesn't
all my
wanna live
other
near black
videos.
guys.
I'm not gonna hold back. I'm gonna be brutally honest. And of course, we're in a day and age where everybody just ain't gonna agree with you.
This is why, real quick,
it's just
before he
part
gets
of-
back into it, this is why the internet's great, is because, like, if this was, like, back in the day and, like, this was, like, a TV clip or something, you wouldn't have a way for, us to all discuss this. And you wouldn't have a way for black Americans to react to it and post the reactions for us to see. It actually moves the conversation forward at such a crazy rate because of that.
Part of it. You will never, no matter what side you're on, people are just not going to agree with you. You're going to have some people agree with you. You're going to have some people that be like, I don't agree with that. Because the ones that say the other black people that might say they don't agree with it, because they be like, well, I didn't go through that, coming up. But that's what I'm saying. Everybody's path is different. So I can only speak on what I've been through and what I've seen my family member been through, because I've been around them growing up. That's why I'm looking at the camera and say he's not lying about the stuff that he's saying.
Not at all.
He's not lying at all. Like I said, you can get anybody in my family that's making it out or say they finna buy a house. The first thing they say is, I want to stay in the white people neighborhood. That's exactly where I want to go. That's just what it is. That's why if you see a lot of these NBA players, NFL players, they got these big houses, these big mansions.
They used to shit on OJ for moving to Brent. I mean, OJ's not the best example because OJ was a fucking murderer, chopped his wife's head off. But he moved to Brentwood and they used to shit on him for doing it. It's like, what? You wanted him to stay in the fucking hood? What do you want him to do? Risk getting shot every day?
Where you think they stay at? I can guarantee you now they don't stay around any black people.
Yeah, I'm
talking
the
like
only
these
black
black
person that
NBA
lives
players,
near
these black
LeBron is
NFL
Jay-Z.
They stay in the white people neighborhood. That's exactly where
I
they
used to have NFL players in my town growing up,
And it's
Jets
for a
players.
reason.
For a reason.
It's violent. It's not to say that every black person is the same way.
Exactly. Because like I said, it is some good black, like I said, you got some good black people that maybe you could move in. You might have a person that say, well, maybe you could move in a neighborhood where black people are right. Yeah. But that's very less likely. Very less likely. You got to know exactly what neighborhood to be in, and that's very, very hard.
Yeah.
That's very, very hard. But like he said, not every black person, because that's where I guess a lot of people getting wrong. They think that they think that he's a racist. Like I said, I don't know a whole lot about Nick Fuentes.
not
I've
a
just seen a
racist.
few of his
He
clips.
just calls
So
out
if y'all can bring me
the
up to
bullshit
speed in
when
the
he
comment
sees it.
section, let me know more about him, because I don't know a whole lot about him. I seen this clip right here going viral, then I seen a lot of y'all.
I'm going to repeat it again. I said it earlier. If you have opinions on Nick Fuentes yourself, but you have never watched a full stream, a full episode, watch a few episodes, watch a few streams, and then create an opinion. But your opinion is essentially worthless if you're only going off cut clips that are edited and other people's hearsay. It's just a really limited view.
telling me to check it out. So like I said, I don't know a whole lot about Nick Fuentes, his background. I don't know anything about that. I just seen a few of his clips, every now and then that be on Twitter, but like I said, I don't know a whole lot about him. But like I said, not every black person is violent, because you got some good black people out there, like me.
Thunder.
Very respectful. Very, very respectful.
But we watch the news. We read the papers. When you drive downtown in Chicago, you know who you got to look out for and worry about when you're thinking about whether you're going to get carjacked, when you're worried about catching a stray bullet, when you're worried about who's going to pull up on the side of the road and literally shove a rifle in your face and steal your iPhone, or point blank.
See, that another thing when he's saying about Chicago, my auntie stay in Chicago, and I told her I do not want to come down there. And the stuff that Nick Fuentes is saying is the exact thing that I told her. Not word for word, but it's verbatim. I told her, I said, no, man, because like when you go to Chicago, it's certain colors. They say that you can't wear down there. People getting robbed all the time. People mistake you for somebody else. Chicago is one of the places that I do not want to go. Not down on anybody. If anybody watching this video and you stay in Chicago, I'm not talking about you. I'm not down on you. I'm just talking about some of the crazy people that's in Chicago who just pretty much try to ruin it for the good ones, pretty much.
Yeah.
So Chicago was one of them ones I like, oh, no, I can't go down
Chicago is Chirac.
Every time I turn around,
falling.
there's something going on in Chicago. Every single time. I'm like, my God, you can't wear certain colors. They mistake you for somebody. They carjacking you at the red light. It's just so much stuff that I see that goes on in Chicago, and I hear a lot of it because, like I said, I have an auntie that stay up there. She tells me all about it. And plus, I've been seeing stuff on the news. I see stuff on Twitter up there in Chicago. It's just very, very bad.
Execution style in Lincoln Park. We know who's doing it. I don't want to live near them. I don't want to be near them. They make me nervous. That's a survival instinct.
So, there y'all go right there. So, I pretty much gave y'all my take on it. Like I said, a lot.
I think he gave a pretty good take on it. I think they all give pretty much the same take, and it's exactly what I wanted to show to my viewers, that it's not racist to talk about these things. It's actually more hurtful to not talk about them than it ever could be to talk about them, even if you're doing it in a louder way than me or Nick Fuentes do. It's important to call out shitty behavior, call out crime, call out bad parenting when you see it, and especially when you can have that confirmation from people within the race themselves. If this was about white people, I would be a good voice to speak out against it. Same way this guy. He's a good voice to speak out against the problems within Black America. So are the Cartier family, who are the first three, and then I forget the name of the second guy, but they're all great voices for this. I want to real quick actually show this clip of, this is kind of what he was talking about, Nick Fuentes and, I don't know that guy's name in the last clip here, but this is what they were talking about when they talk about the, robberies that just happen, like, randomly. I'm going to show a quick video. Like, look at this. Literally, this guy is walking on the side of the road. Car just pulls up. They get out, shove a bunch of pistols. 5 guys right there. They start beating the shit out of him, hitting him in the head, take everything he has on him. Like, that's the shit you have to watch out for. That's the shit that happens in Chicago. That's the shit that happens in New York, in LA, in these shitty cities where you have no real accountability among a lot of people. That is a huge problem. I like hearing, the people confirm kind of what I was saying. It pushes me to want to talk about it more, because we got to address these issues. We really do. If we don't address these issues, these problems are only going to get worse. I do want to talk about some other stuff that's been happening. Like I said, it's not really a busy day in politics, so we're really just going to react to some clips. We're going to talk about Israel-Gaza. We can do that real quick, I guess. To talk about Israel-Gaza, we're not going to talk about it for more than a minute, because we don't have that much information, and we'll have more on Monday, most likely. And I'm going to pull up Netanyahu's tweet here. This is what he said. We are not going to occupy Gaza. We are going to free Gaza from Hamas. Gaza will be demilitarized and peaceful civilian administration will be established. One that is not the Palestinian Authority, not Hamas, not any other terrorist organization. This will help free our hostages and ensure Gaza does not pose a threat to Israel in the future. So what he's saying is they are going to take Gaza and occupy Gaza, because the only other way to set up Israeli camps within there is to occupy and take over Gaza. He's really just trying to phrase this in another way. He is more of a PR man than he is anything else. Netanyahu is a corrupt war criminal. We all know this. We talk about this on this show. Israel is as corrupt as it gets, especially Netanyahu. I'm sure we'll have more information on that on Monday after the weekend. There's not a ton of information, a lot of mixed information actually. We're hearing that they aren't taking this trip and then that they are. Israeli media is reporting that they are, and then in America they're reporting that they're not. So we should look out for that. I'm going to look on X through journalists, see what I could find over the weekend. I did want to show some other tweets and stuff that were happening. This is one from Dan Bilzerian. He tweeted out, the only thing that is a hoax is MAGA. Trump promised MAGA no new wars in the Epstein files. We got Israel first, more war, and a pedophile cover-up, and a lot of gaslighting. The only politicians I see that aren't controlled by Israel are Thomas Massie and Marjorie Taylor Greene. I don't necessarily love every single thing that comes out of Marjorie Taylor Greene's mouth. I don't love a lot of the things she's always done in the past. I criticized her heavily about not even reading the One Big Beautiful Bill before she voted on it, and things she said about other people within the media throughout the years. She's turned her back on different people as well. But I do think it's incredibly important that we do have politicians like her, like Thomas Massie, within our government who are true America First patriots, who are pushing America First policies on the front lines, who are voting for America First, who are standing up to AIPAC on X, they're standing up to AIPAC on the congressional floor. It's important we have these people, because without these people, we would really have nobody within the actual government calling out AIPAC. We would have people in the media, people like me, people like Nick Fuentes, people all over YouTube, Rumble, etc., but no real politicians besides them are the ones calling out AIPAC, the corrupt foreign lobbyists, and all the corruption happening within our government. We need to get the Epstein files. We need to stop the foreign wars, and the foreign wars are far from over. We will see that regime change in Iran, I think right before or after the midterms, most likely. I want to go to this clip as well. This is a clip of Charlie Kirk from his show. And he stopped his show right after the clip. A TPUSA chapter leader called Charlie Kirk on his show to ask him if he would debate Nick Fuentes.
Charlie, as a TPUSA chapter founder and president, I've seen firsthand how the tide is turning among young conservatives. I say, if you truly believe in open debate in the marketplace of ideas, will you ever be willing to debate Nick Fuentes, or will you wait until his movement forces you to adopt his talking points, as we've seen already?
It's funny. I personally do not give a platform to bad faith actors. And I had a whole open about this. And by the way, a really important thing is not to lie and to not bear false testimony. It's fine, I'll answer your question. You said, I want to have a question about Turning Point events, and you obviously lied about your question. Doesn't surprise me because you have deceit. But you know what? Honestly, I'm asked that question all the time. I don't platform trolls, and I don't platform, and I don't discuss people, or I don't debate with people.
It's a bullshit ass, we're going to play the rest of it, but bullshit ass answer. Just saying I don't debate trolls. He's smarter than you. I bet if you both took an IQ test, he would be smarter than you. You have the same level of education, essentially. You're both autodidacts in a lot of way. And if anything, Nick is extremely truthful about everything. When Nick's wrong, he calls himself out. Nick is truthful about white people, about Christians, about Jewish people, about Muslims, about black people, about Mexicans, about every single race, religion, and group of people that exist. While Charlie Kirk, on the other hand, says that because I'm an American and because I'm a Christian, I have to have undying support for Israel because of a verse in Genesis. Like, are you fucking kidding me? No, that does not make sense. The people in Israel now are not the people of the Bible.
People that are not good faith actors. And
You debate Maoists and people who champion.
They can keep on yelling at how successful we are. And
Charlie just muted the kid's mic, I bet, because he tried to chime in. That's the Parker and Dean move. I've debated both those fucking losers on TikTok, and that's their move. Whenever you start making a good point or you refute anything, they just mute you and talk over you, and they're like, what the fuck are you doing? And they bitch and crash out. They're just little femboy girls. They're so fucking weird.
And our big events and well over 1,000 employees. But a lot of jealousy out there. We build, they complain. We succeed, we win. They blame the Jews. Thank you. Next question.
Yeah, again, that from Charlie Kirk is classic Charlie Kirk. He is just, again, defending Israel. He's not actually, his only answer to the question was, I don't debate trolls. I just explained how, and I'm not going to really explain it again, but he is smarter than Charlie Kirk. He's not a troll. He is a very efficient streamer. He does it almost every single day for a few hours. He gives very in-depth geopolitical analysis, very truthful analysis as well. Charlie Kirk shutting this down makes Charlie Kirk look pretty weak, in my opinion. It makes him look like he is scared to have the debate, because Charlie Kirk owes something to his Israeli donors. Nick Fuentes doesn't even take a sponsorship, so Nick Fuentes doesn't know shit to anybody. Nick Fuentes is allowed to be as honest as possible, always. Let's see if we, oh yeah, this is another thing I wanted to show you. It's not as big, but this is another thing happening in conservative politics. Matt Walsh has touched on it. Even Charlie Kirk touched on it. Nick Fuentes, like pretty much everyone has. I just wanted to touch on it real quick. So Sarah Stock, if you don't know who she is, she got engaged. Sarah Stock is part of Rift TV, a contributor there. She got engaged, and there was a lot of comments like this top one here, where it's just like, why? I actually commented back to her, where it's Gold Digger, where she goes, why is it so small? And then there was a lot of quote tweets, etc., just commenting on the size of their ring. I want to give a message to young men. Don't marry any bitch who will ever care about the size of the ring you get her. You should be able to buy a girl a ring pop, and she'll say yes if she loves you enough. The idea that you have to go buy a, $10, $20, $30,000 ring, break your bank, take out a loan from parents or the bank with interest to buy a ring for someone that has a 50% chance of divorcing you and taking all your shit. Again, don't marry that person in the first place. Do not marry anyone who gives a fuck about those superficial things, because the women who care about those superficial things, the women who care about the size of their rings, etc., those are the women who are going to divorce you. The women who want, crazy expensive weddings and aren't willing to budge on it. The women who want rings as big as this, that want a honeymoon that lasts a month long, that costs $100K. Don't date or don't marry those women. Don't even give them attention in the first place. Let them learn that they have to change their shitty behavior, or else they're just going to die alone. Because that's what should happen. Women like that should die alone. They should not have any males give them attention. It's just really negative to men when people give women like that attention. But yeah, I do just want to say congratulations to Sarah Stock. Ignore all the negative comments. Ignore the bullshit. Ignore all the people who are talking shit about it. They don't deserve time or attention. They're very negative people, very obviously. I want to pull up another clip for you guys actually right here. Give me one moment here to pull this up. It's actually not a clip, it's a picture. I'm sorry about that. So we've talked to, and this is, again, I don't know, violent content warning, I guess I should say. It's a picture. If you guys remember the name Big Balls, the guy from Doge, that was his LinkedIn name. The media would refer to him as Big Balls. He tried to break up a fight in D.C. So there was a woman who was being beaten in the streets of D.C. and he tried to I don't know if you guys could hear that thunder. I'm curious if that got picked up on the mic. Holy hell, that was loud. But he got beaten trying to defend a woman. So here, look at this right here. I mean, that's insane. Holy shit. I mean, I pray that he is able to recover. I pray that they're able to find the people who did this and arrest them. This is awful that this happened. I don't know a lot about this person, and it's just sad I think he's like 19 or 20 years old. That's what I do know about him. It's just sad to see a kid get fucked up like that when he's trying to defend a woman who is getting beaten in the streets.